Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm going to read you something here. It says, the fiat monetary system is coming to an end, and with it all linear extrapolations of centralized top-down governance models will become dysfunctional to the point of irrelevance. This is basically true. Because the fiat monetary system is the core of everything out there, it all runs around the fiat monetary system, which is, you've got your dollar, which is the main fiat currency of the world. And you've got all of the other fiat currencies. You remember back in 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard, thereby setting the dollar free of being connected to anything real. Basically became no more than a fiat currency, a money that is only money by decree. They've mismanaged the fiat monetary system, and this is at the core of their top-down model of governance. And when the fiat money becomes worthless, which is inevitable, then we're going to see this actually start to take place. And the world's going through a big change right now. Speaking about big changes, there's going to be big changes to my channel in the next couple months. I'm in the process of transition period right now on my channel, and I'm going to improve it. We're going to be getting, probably within about a month or so, we're going to be getting back to daily shows at a very specific time, more specific than it was before. That's one of the changes I'm going to make, is that I'm going to produce my shows and release them on a daily basis, but on a more scheduled way, so that you know what time, more or less, that the show's going to come out within about 15 minutes, rather than sitting and waiting for my show to come out. And some days it's right now it's working out to about 2 or 3 hours different. Some days it's later, some days it's earlier. I know you guys are on a schedule, a lot of people, that's great, you know, and you want to see the show when it's supposed to come out at a specified time. So one of the changes I'm going to be making is I'm going to be getting my shows out on a specified time, more or less a time schedule each day. The market report, I'm going to continue with the market report, but I'm going to update it with new intros and a new set, and it's going to have a little bit more streamlined, you know. And I'm in this process of this change right now, changing my cameras. I'll have better audio for you guys so that you can hear me better. A number of changes I'm going to be making to the channel to improve it. And another thing I wanted to talk about is they passed that big infrastructure bill. They passed it. The Biden infrastructure bill. And now they're talking about putting the next bill through, which is the I can't think of the name of it right now, but there's going to be a second bill. It's 1.7 trillion. So I think they passed this first bill. It's been passed through. It's going to go into effect, the infrastructure bill. And I see this as actually being kind of a good thing, because you can't let your bridges and your highways completely fall to pieces, you know, with American infrastructure, especially I think they should especially work on the electrical grid, you know, because everybody needs to. We have a more secure electrical grid, so that big areas and wide swaths of the electrical grid doesn't go down. And things like maybe the ice storm that they had in Texas, which took the electrical grid down for a number of days, caused tremendous, I'll call it inconvenience, but it actually came out to be more than just an inconvenience for a lot of people. Now this week, we've seen silver prices. Toward the end of this week, and now they've closed for the week, we've seen them come back up into the $24 range for silver. And I think this is a great thing, that the silver price bounced back. They smash it down and it bounces right back on them, right? So what this is creating for you guys is buying opportunities. this is great. You get a buying opportunity on silver. Now we're in this little period right now where we're moving toward a period where silver's probably going to take off. We're probably going to see rather big explosions in price because what you have is the inflation's not going away. We've got a second wave of inflation coming. We might have a little deflationary period caused by China. China, they've invested about 60 to 70% of their money that they made. They made a lot of money during a number of years in China. And China grew to be the second largest economy in the world. During that period in time, a lot of people in China became rich. Well, where do they put their money? Well, they put their money into real estate. And the surprising thing about it is they built these big high-rise buildings in these major cities in China. And in some cities, that weren't really major cities, they were called ghost cities, but they'd put these big sky rises up, and they'd sell apartments in these sky rises. Because these people were buying these apartments for basically an investment, they didn't really even finish these apartments. You can't live in them. Many of these apartments you can't live in. They're just basically a box. You got a floor where there's no flooring, there's no wiring put in, there's no appliances, there's wires hanging from the walls, they're unfinished, but they're been investment pieces of property, and some of them are worth like $250,000 per apartment, $500,000 per apartment, and they're completely unfinished apartments, and they're in buildings that have been put together and questionable as well. You know, I mean, the buildings are, some of them they're having to tear them down, you know, because as the years are going by, these investment properties, and this is starting to roll over now. And these big Chinese firms like Evergrande, to name the one that everybody is very interested in right now, are finding trouble because the Chinese property market is starting to cool down rather rapidly. And it's already started. It's starting to spread because these big Chinese investment companies that deal in real estate, they have something called wealth management products. And the wealth management product is basically, I'll call it for what it is, a Ponzi scheme. They have people invest and they pay them interest, rather high interest, amounts of interest on their investments in these wealth management products. And then they turn over and take that capital or liquidity or money that they got as an investment, and they build more properties which they then sell. More of these empty apartments that have no wiring in them and are not completed, they sell them, and then the people are holding those properties as investments, and then more people invest. And when you're looking at an economy where they have 60% or 70% of their total money invested in all this, it's just a giant bubble that's ready to break, and it's starting to break now. So we got that going on. That's going to affect the Western financial system. It's going to impact it in a deflationary way, and this is going to yield again even more stimulus measures. Now I know they're talking about right now how they're going to cut back bond purchases and taper. But I think this is a very temporary thing, and ultimately we're heading toward a period of higher inflation down the road once this little period is over. So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know about the changes that I'm going to be making. This is a transitionary period right now for my channel, and these changes are going to be improvements that I'm making for not just this channel, but also if you guys tune into the Delta Report, I'm going to be making changes there too. For the better. These changes are going to be for the better, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy the changes that I make when I make them. I'm probably going to have them over the next few weeks completed. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.